back on the monster truck raw cross because it's just so cool. That's slippery. It's like just warm enough to start melting that, but there's still be a chunk of ice. Definition of slippery right there. The best part of how cheap and garbagey these tires are is how not guilty I can feel about skidding them and ruining them as quick as possible. Because it was just an experiment to see if they would fit. See? Dang it, you never know what your setback is going to be in the morning. There's a dog up there that I wanted to show you, but this bus is in the way. Yesterday got away from me in the busiest way possible. I originally wanted to do the video where I was talking about like gravel bikes versus a mountain bike and at what point that you should go from a gravel bike to owning maybe a mountain bike or vice versa. And I think that's going to be a super interesting video and it really does deserve its own day. That was going to be yesterday, but Joel came in and we really started to discuss the logo for the channel. We really wanted to put a lot of work into it to make it significantly better than it is right now, especially because I have some plans to use it for some different things. We sat there and went through pretty well every single detail, way deeper than I would have ever gone through on my own, to make sure that the logo is going to turn out just way higher in quality than where I've ever had it before. The logo for this channel was basically done by me doing my signature on the mouse pad of a laptop, and then I screenshotted it. That's it. That's all I did to create my logo. I make it sound like that was a long process where I just sat there and just talked for the entire day. Basically just sat back here working on other things and yelled out my ideas, and then had the ideas yelled back, and I'd walk over and I'd be like, this is what I mean, and then kind of come back. So Joel, you think you'll have that logo done soon? On top of that, the store was actually like oddly kind of busy enough, and I had enough people coming in just to visit that I really couldn't find any of the spare time that I generally need to do something like this, a conversation like this. Now typically when I do a monologue like this, I like to just kind of do it before the store opens or after. I like to have this conversation knowing that no one's going to walk in and kind of interrupt. And also I think it makes sense because it's not really fair to my boss to use his time to make something. But because Colin and I had plans for the evening, staying late to do a monologue wasn't in the cards. I couldn't make it happen. Now I tried to salvage the vlog at his place by doing a bike check on his old Cannondale cross bike that has been upgraded with a bunch of modern SRAM parts, but the lighting in there wasn't very good, the sound wasn't very good. Anyway, it sort of turned out a little bit like this. Honestly, I think the biggest thing that kept us from like shooting a good video and doing it the right way with like, you know, some thought was the fact that we kept playing Gran Turismo 4 and and it was really good battling between us both. And we really did waste a pretty significant amount of time with a video game driving simulator.
That means we have to do one more.
I guess it does. This is what we've been wasting our time doing. And then today, well, today was sort of spent taking inventory of all these parts for the build of this bike. I put the bottom bracket in it today, but for the rest of it, you know, I kind of need to have the bike fit of the bike done. So on Monday, I'm gonna come in a little bit early. I'm gonna basically finish the build without anything like cable-wise on it. We'll figure out where he wants everything, and then I can finish it so that cables don't end up being too long or too short. Getting to work with SRAM Red E-Tap is pretty neat. But with that, today's Friday is already done at the shop. I gotta leave about an hour early because I gotta go pick up my parents at the airport, who, of course, are already here and only let me know about 15 minutes ago. So that is the task for the rest of the day. Is to go get them from the airport significantly earlier than I thought. I very much dislike having to drive downtown Halifax, and even more so having to park in a parking garage, because I'm a very cheap person, and parking in a parking garage is far from cheap. I've really done my fair share of airport drop-off and pickups this past month. Seems to be a fair bit of waiting around while you're doing it.